Star Wars or anything. Okay, come on. Okay. Okay. What are you doing?
Tired. I'm going home.
Get out of here.
This thing is really just too tight.
Do you have a Star Wars shirt? Hey, it's us. Hey, who's that?
It's one of those sweatshirts that, like, it has no stretch. Like, it doesn't go anywhere.
Well, that doesn't sound comfortable at all. Why is it even on your body?
I actually stole it from my dad.
You stole it.
You stole it!
You stole it. Bitch.
Okay, kids, let's go.
Un back!
Have you felt it?
Have you felt it? I felt it. Did you feel it? I'm feeling you.
I cannot feel anything from the waist down, bitch.
Thanks a lot.
Hello, what have we?
Shinobi Kenobi.
Now look at my motherfucking wheelchair. It does not have a scratch on it. That's because this shit was made by the Juggernaut. And I gotta save his life. Custom made. I apologize. Custom made by the Juggernaut.
Sticky icky.
May the force be with us. Fucking A.
Prepare the podcast.
Say something, Mopa.
Good day, Galaxy. Rogue Squadron Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Mopar.
I'm Commander Cody.
Episode 192.
How's everybody feeling this evening? How are you feeling this evening?
I'm good. I'm really good. You went from fucking bird flu commander. I think you're hungover today.
No, not hungover. Just tired from the wedding festivities that took
Tired,
place
have a
last
headache,
night.
you're achy.
Not
you're
hungover.
No, I didn't say that. There wasn't a word that I spoke.
I feel physically much better than last week. No longer sick. That left me around like Wednesday. But no, we were up in Cantonary for my wife's cousin's wedding. So I'm just tired from that. You know, her and I did a lot of music for the ceremony, so that was kind of exhausting. And then they're all a bunch of crazy Italians, so we partied all night.
Man. But you're not hungover.
I'm not. I feel great.
Did you have your green drink?
It was a little iffy in the morning. I chugged like 3 bottles of water and went back to bed for an hour. That seems to do the trick almost all the time. But I feel good. I'm ready to drink this 7th Son. I haven't had it yet.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. How are you feeling?
I'm A-okay. Yesterday was super nice out, so I kind of lounged around where I got a lot. Mopar's got a lot of shenanigans going on here.
Do you want to tell the mofos what you're doing? Or no?
I mean, I'm getting married this week.
Married.
But we're getting married out of town. So
By
we're
themselves.
So we're packing for that, and then we're from there out of town, Seattle. We're flying to Alaska, so we're packing for that. And then the day we get back, we get keys to our new house.
Woo.
So we're packing for that.
Nice. A lot of packing. Just packing.
I'm all packed out, just smacking it and packing it.
Smacking and packing.
Packing and
Packing
stacking.
and smacking.
You want to stack that shit in the corner. Put the babies in the shits. Yeah.
Lots of celebrations. So, yeah.
Yeah, I told work, I was like, look, May, just count me out.
Yeah.
Because I'm just not going to be here. I mean, I already planned my PTO and all that. And I'm really lucky. Well, we got lucky. So we're getting married on the 18th.
Yeah.
That immediate next week is all PTO. So we'll be in Alaska for the honeymoon.
Yeah.
And then we get back Sunday. And then Memorial Day is Monday. So we get a fucking another day off.
Extra day to rest from your
Yeah, oh, yeah.
the
We're
madness.
just going to stare at the wall or do nothing. Play
You'll
Skyrim.
sleep all day. So your Alaska plans, are you doing like a lot of outdoorsy, like hiking, backpacking, sightseeing stuff? Or are you staying in the city and getting fucking hungover?
No, we're flying into Fairbanks, which is kind of somewhat mid-state. It's not, I'm sure with the size of Alaska, it's not mid-state, but it's not on the coast.
Mid-state. It's its own country, basically.
It is, yeah. So somewhere middle, and then we are kind of road tripping it. We're doing like a 3-hour drive into Denali State Park. We're staying there for about 3 or 4 days, chilling there, doing some hiking. We're looking at like different bus tours and shit. I don't want to like sit on a bus, but it's like if you go, you can't do any unguided tours in Denali. It's too dangerous.
Yeah.
So you got to have like an Arnold Schwarzenegger with you.
You know, bears and shit.
Bears.
Bears. They can smell the honeymoon.
The honey bunnies.
So you don't want to get eaten while you're out there.
So we're trying to like, of course, it would be awesome if we were able to take like a helicopter or something, but also that's like $2,000 per person. I'm like, I'd rather just put that in the house.
2,000?
$2,000.
10,000. Wait, is it really? I assumed like a
It's-
helicopter tour was like $250 or something.
Alaska relatively seems on par, like expensive wise, but there's those specific things that you can't do anywhere else. Like fly over Denali. No, that'll be like $5,000.
Yeah.
Like, let me just drive through it. How about that?
Yeah, but you can't see everything.
Yeah.
And you're safer in the chopper. You don't have to worry about the bears eating you
That's
out
what
of the car.
That's what it is. We got to get the Terminator, and then he'll give us the keys to the chopper, and then I'll fly it around. Or maybe Bill Burr has his plans to
Dude, yeah,
fly
he can
me
fly you
around.
Yeah. Just
Dude, I
stop
would
in
pay
LA
$2,000 for that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he should do. In between stand-up tours, he should just like give people helicopter rides and tell them jokes the whole time.
He's just out of control. He's one of my favorite stand-ups of all time.
Yeah, he's
but
up there.
he seems like, I don't mean, he just seems like a shitty person. Like he just hates life. Not that I would dislike hanging out with him or
I think
anything
he's
like
just
that.
a grumpy Bostonian.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he's a shitty person, but yes, he seems like a Grumpelston, a Grumpelston. So,
Grumpelkiltskin.
but that would be hilarious having him fly around. Those are fucking shit horses and big mooses. That all they do is shit. You don't want to see that.
It was spotted very subtly, but he has a role in The Mandalorian.
Yeah, I'd rather not care.
I don't know if it's just a cameo or if he's like a small character or something, but he was in the trailer footage that we saw at Celebration. So
He does have that small part in Breaking Bad too.
yeah.
The bus or something, water truck breaks down.
he's in a couple other things that I haven't seen, but he was talking about. He was on Rogan once, and he was talking about the acting gigs that he's gotten besides F is for Family, which is really funny. His cartoon, but I want to drink about it. You ready?
Yeah, let's open this beer.
Oh, let's talk about it too.
So we had events planned for May the 4th, which fell apart. Rightfully so. I mean, we got so wrapped up with the celebration and Celebration Chicago. And by the time we really got everything set and ready, all the artists, unluckily, I'm sorry, it landed on Free Comic Book Day. So
Yeah.
all the artists that we usually work with were already booked for that day.
501st was already booked.
So 501st was booked. Mopar didn't give a shit. So we
I gave a couple shits, but I ended up getting sick anyway. So even if we did have a party, I wouldn't have been able to do anything.
So essentially, it was just myself, Glass Armor, and Travis Dunn. Oh, and Jared and his girl showed up. So.
Nice.
So it was just about a handful of us, and I was loving this. So this is more of a re-review for me.
So yeah, so what you didn't, what I'm sure you were about to say was that out of all the things that we did have planned, the beer is the one thing that did go through. So this is from Seventh Son. This is our 4th Star Wars brew with some Columbus mofos. So
14th.
And this is the Darth Malt.
What does it look like, Commander?
It looks like butterscotch or some shit.
Ooh, good. I was gonna say apple cider.
It does look like apple cider.
It looks like a smoky, thick apple cider. You can't see any. It almost there's just like a black hole of flavor. You see into it, and it just gets darker, and you can't see like past it or through. I can't see the light. Hold it up to the light.
It's looking.
You can't like see any light.
Yeah,
through
it's
it.
thick, man. It's looking like it didn't turn out as red as they hoped.
No, but this is cool. It's a good.
I mean, it looks good as it is. It just doesn't look as red as they were going for, because obviously it's called the Darth Malt, so we were going for like a red hue. It's a red IPA with brute culture or brute fermentation.
Yeah,
like that.
so it's like wine.
It's that type of culture that they use in Champagne, which has been brute IPAs are kind of popular now. So they threw that in there.
We're also, if you guys are live with us, we're drinking out of these badass glasses of one of our favorite brews, Pilsner Urquell. If you are familiar with Pilsner Urquell, they have their specific glasses that usually they give to local draft spots that have it on draft that they recommend to pour it into. Like our World of Beer at Easton had a lot of these for a long time, that if you ordered one, you got it in the Pilsner Urquell glass, and it's more of like a large mug.
Yeah,
I guess.
I think there's particular mugs for particular types of beer, but
there are.
We're just drinking it out of it.
This
It
one's
contains
for-
the liquid. That's enough for me.
Yeah.
For now, at least.
But my point was, we're going to be giving away 4 of these glasses, brand new.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
So we've got 4 extras that we're going to be giving away to the patrons. If you are not a patron and you want a shot at some of these glasses,
Time to sign up.
if you sign up, the next 4 people that sign up over the next couple weeks, will get a free glass right away. Now, if we don't get 4 people that sign up, it'll just get randomized to the patrons that already exist.
Or we just wait until somebody signs up.
No.
All right.
Nope. 2 weeks.
So if you want to talk in our group chat with all of us Star Wars fans without hearing a bunch of bullshit, rumor, whiny, clickbait nonsense, that's worth it. You might get a beer mug. That's worth it.
Beer mug.
You get a bunch of swag. We send people like Legos and Black Series figures and stuff all the time randomly. Stickers, pins, buttons.
Condoms.
Middle fingers. The usual.
I'm out of both of them.
All right.
Cheers. Drinking the bells. Drinking bells and hells. And what do you want to drink about it? Chicka. I'm going to do that because I never do it.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah, baby. It's something about the Brute. There's a Sierra Nevada Brute IPA. So delicious.
It's like sharper, I want to say. Like it's a sharper bitterness, if that makes any sense.
It's like a milky bitterness.
But then it does have like the milky malty texture, but a sharp bitter flavor. If that makes any sense. But like even the texture, just looking at it, kind of looks like a milkshake or like a nitro coffee or something.
Yeah, it looks kind of like the Guinness bubbles, the froth at the top. It's more of a froth than like a head. It's so thick and it remains. It's remaining, guys. It's like a Jedi Knight who got stabbed by Darth Maul who just won't go the fuck away.
Damn, that is good. That is good. FedEx over here is dishing out facts. Alaska, second of the states alphabetically, last to join the union.
Yes,
Thanks.
yes. We got a handful of Jamborams here. Damn, real pint mugs. How times have changed.
I think this is probably like 24 ounces, or is it?
I don't know.
They're pretty beefy.
Good pint, I guess. What? Let's get back to this shit.
A pint's 16.
Yeah. This is really good.
Do I look like the Joker when I do that?
You look. No.
Sorry.
You really.
I got distracted.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Don't get distracted on this show. Anyways, the weather is delicious outside.
It was
raining
yesterday.
Strawberries and candy bombs.
It was supposed to rain all weekend. It got really nice yesterday for the wedding, which was cool, and now it's back to like 50 and raining.
Saturday was one of the best days ever because it was like
It was this temperature, but with bright sun.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my perfect.
It was like low mid 60s, but when you sat in the sun, I got a little bit. I tried to sit out in it. Ooh. I don't soak up the sun like I used to. I go out for like a half hour when I was like 18, and boom, I would lose a layer of skin. Just burn immediately. I was out all week last week in West Virginia. It was like brutally hot. It was like 80s.
Yeah.
And just with Thor was doing the sunbeams into my pores.
Thor's not the sun god.
The Thor pore god.
Thor pores.
Porous Thors.
Porous Thor pores. On a horse.
Let's drink about that. Let's get a number to this beer here. So it's the Darth Malt once again. Did they put the ABV on here? 6%.
6 flat. 6.0.
And again, it's from Seventh Son, which is one of our favorite local breweries. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are local to Columbus and want to grab a bit of this, I know it's still on tap. I just stopped there. So,
and they should have it at a few other places too. I don't know exactly who made the final list, but some nerdy places around town, Gateway, Tabletop, Game Cafe, World of Beer, stuff is supposed to have it. Not World of Beer anymore, sorry. District Poorhouse in Gateway.
The District Whorehouse.
World of Beer.
The Columbus Whorehouse. You get it down there. They got a whole pony keg.
All right, I'm thinking initially a 3.
Dewback keg.
But let's guess the scene while I double think and check my my rating of this beer.
Also, just to give you guys a hint, well, if you're listening later or after the fact, or if you're live with us, or if you've ever
Hey everybody.
tried, I do want to kind of discuss a little bit about Kyle Katarn later.
Great.
Yeah, I know.
I'm shutting this down.
That's why I'm doing it, because I want to give him a second chance. Now that we've had like some sequel stuff, because I feel like outside of the prequels, of course we're Star Wars fans, but we jumped onto the prequels, held onto it. KOTOR held onto that, and then we all like for you after all that, you kind of backtracked and learned about Kyle Katarn. I had it before I was a Star Wars fan.
I still don't even really know that much about him.
That's what I'm a loser, man. I'm a loser.
Baby.
And what I do is Google Kyle Katarn and read the fucking wiki page, and I learned so much.
It's easier than reading a bunch of books.
Honestly, trash books too.
But he's a Legends character now, technically, right? I don't think he appears in any canon stuff.
I don't think so, because a lot of the stuff that he's done in the games has already been retroacted by the stuff in the movies.
Retrofitted.
Retconned. Let's do 644.
Let's do 619 because it's 619 right now.
Okay. That's fine. 619.
I feel like we just did six recently.
We're doing early shit again.
Whoa. Earlier can be tougher though. Because like as we learned last time, Star Wars pops up on the screen for the first time. It's like a minute, right?
Episode
It's like
9.
50 seconds by the time you get through Lucasfilm and 20th Century Fox and all that shit. So
Are we running out of ideas here? I feel like we haven't done episode 3 in a minute. Or Solo or Rogue.
let's do Solo 19.
Solo 19.
So Solo 19. I'll get this queued up so we can scrub through it when the time comes.
They're doing the car chase.
Star Wars story.
Doing the speeder chase on Corellia.
That's the first thing that you see, and there is no crawl in this one, remember? There's a fake crawl. I still don't like that.
I love it.
I don't. We don't need the setup, I don't think.
It's nice, though.
No, it's not, because they might as well have just done the crawl like normal.
Yeah, but the crawl's overdone, and for a movie this simple that's trying to break away from the saga stuff,
Dare you?
I don't know, man.
I'm okay with it. All right, 19 minutes in. I'm going to say...
I'm going to say they're waiting in line, actually, at the port.
I'm going to go a little bit further and say Han is bumping into Beckett and the crew on the ground at Mimban.
Oh, wow.
Like right after it cuts to him being blown to smithereens on Mimban.
Way to put a comma in there. No, I think you're way beyond that. We're way beyond that because we got to do the Lady Proxima stuff. We got to do that real quick speeder chase. Yeah, I mean, I might be cutting it short a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think they take...
It's
I feel like
quick.
they move pretty quickly through the little prequel before the 3 years later time jump thing.
You know what? I am going to advance it just a smidge. Solo.
Copier.
He gets his name.
Copier.
He gets his name.
Cheater.
Yeah, because I do think after thinking about it, that
thinking
it does
about thinking about
move. It does move quicker than most.
Just a wee bit quicker. All right, I'm going to show everybody that's live. You guys get to see... It's basically illegal right now. You're watching a movie. But there's no sound, so they can't catch us. All right, let's scrub. So we are at 10, and they're already in line at the port. Oh,
Ooh.
16, he's on Mimban.
Nice.
So he meets Beckett at 16. That means I'm going to guess that 19, he's in the Wookiee cage, maybe?
Yeah. Ooh, he's getting thrown into it.
Oh, just about to.
He's talking to Beckett, though.
Yeah, this is where Beckett says, Captain, arrest this dude. He's a lying traitor bastard person. So
He's probably talking
bef-
about the monkey arms coming out of Zimbabwe's butt. Rio.
How'd you get Zimbabwe out of Rio?
Zimbabwe.
Yeah, so 1930, they're grabbing Han and about to throw him into the pit with Chewie. So, yeah, it always moves faster than I anticipate. And I tried to get ahead of it, and I was still 3 minutes short.
No, I advanced mine, and I was still a half off.
So the question mark is, did you win? Did you guess the right scene? Is the time that you said with your mouth, was it lining up with the correct answer of what we just did? Oh, sorry, I got to switch the camera back over. We need a coordinator person because I can't do all this at the same time.
Someone hire us. Wait
a second.
Someone
That's not
hire
right.
someone for us.
That's
Someone
not
do
right.
it.
That's not right. Welcome, Real Farmer.
Evening, bees. Woo. So what are you feeling on the head on this bitch is still
fucking around.
Still floating in the buds, man. I love the babies. What the fuck am I talking about? I don't know. I don't know.
Par. It's on par with usual.
I've never.
192 episodes. We still don't know what we're doing.
You know what I'm gonna do real quick is shout out to Mr. Richard, our newest patron.
Yeah,
he's
Richard.
a monster beast.
Yeah, Richard.
So cheers. This one's to him.
Cheers, Rich. He met us at the live podcast that we did at Celebration, but now he's going back to our first episodes and he's working his way through the catalog like a savage.
He said he's already up to episode 7 stuff, so he's like 50 episodes in. I feel like.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nah, that had to have been like 30 maybe.
He was messaging me. He's like, you guys are, I learned so much from you. I'm like, first of all, the only thing you learn about us is that you'll never learn anything.
We're just saying incorrect facts. Were you about to check something?
I would.
All right.
3 out of 3 for the
That's what I was thinking.
the Darth Maul. Well, the only reason if I'm got to sway one way or the other, it's our beer. So what the fuck off.
Yeah, all of our beers have been 3, so why?
And this is easily, this might be one of the first beers that might be drinkable, not cold as fuck.
Interesting. I still haven't been trained in the proper ways to drink the beer at the right temperatures. I still think ice cold is the best, even for something like Guinness. But
try
I'm
it.
an uncultured swine.
I mean, really, really take a swig because it's not very cold right now.
I mean, I've been taking swigs.
Are you drinking the beer?
I've been taking swigs the whole time. You can see from the size of my glass that it is a third full.
So I'll tell you what.
I agree with
We
you.
are automatically down to only 3 Pilsner Urquell glasses left because Mr. Richard's going to get one.
Good job, Richard. Proud of you.
Richard, our newest patron.
Ricardo!
So if you're fans of the show, patreon.com. Rogue Squad Pod. Find it. Do it.
Patron.com.
Choose it. Decide it. Dude, the pour looks delicious too. It looks like a work of art.
Check it out, man. Check it out.
Yeah. It does look good.
I'm going to screenshot that. That's funny. Where are we today?
I don't know. Oh, man. So, long weekend, huh?
Yeah, I mean, just busy, a little stressful. I mean, the wedding went off without a hitch. Everything was great, but getting prepared to perform, we don't play out that much at all anymore. So it's a little stressful practicing, getting the tunes ready, doing the rehearsal and stuff like that. But everything went well, and then we partied. It was fun. You guys were fucking around on Friday, weren't you?
Well, we did. We kept it in house. Oh, no. What happened? Glass Armor had a happy hour thing from work after work. So nice. I met up with them at Kindred Brewing in
Heard of it.
Gahanna.
They took over Pigskin, right?
No, that's Nostalgia Brewing. Kindred is up the street a little bit. It's off of Hamilton near 270 South.
Oh, wow.
On the south end there.
Yeah, I've never been there before.
Yeah, it was the first time.
I've heard the name before, though.
Yeah. Point was, we went there, and because we weren't able to we signed, finished up closed the house on Thursday.
Very nice.
But we both had to work Friday, so we kind of celebrated Friday night after going to the brewery. So,
hell yeah.
Chilled on that, and then yesterday we really just relaxed, man. It was kind of nice.
It's good for you.
She got a couple things done. I did a little bit of cleaning, but really, literally walked my plants outside. I put them all outside.
It's an important task.
Well, there's a couple of them that sit on the kitchen counter, and there's no windows on that side of the apartment. So I was like, "You guys are fucking around, dying. Let's give you some food outside." So I sent them outside, and I started reading a new book, which I never should do because there's 30 other ones, and I'm.
You're 1 page into 100 different books.
I am. I'm literally on page 7 on this new one. Yeah, did that. I can't think of. Cool. I don't think I watched any movies.
We got some patio furniture finally. We had a patio all last year. Didn't get anything for it. We just have 2 chairs. I have your 2 old blue chairs, by the way, if you want them.
Yeah.
Those fold-up ones.
Let's talk about that right now. How am I going to get my blue chairs back? Are you going to walk them over?
No, you just pick them up with your hands and you move them. It's very simple.
This sounds like a pain
We were
in the
going to
ass.
keep them for parties, but now you have a house, so you can probably want them back.
Kind of want to have them.
But we got patio table, umbrella, some lights, some plants, bench, rug, stuff like that. What? Bench.
Not a bench.
Bench.
We got chairs, bench.
So, and it was really nice weather the earlier part of this last week. So I was doing some work outside on the patio. It was nice just to, just be out there, not be stuck in the house or stuck in the office.
It is. It's almost like trying to work out. You feel better once you get outside, but sometimes it's nice also to just sit there and play Skyrim and not do shit. But once you get outside, you're like, oh, I'm glad I did this. But
I will say, and I think this goes back to when we were caddying, once you do a bunch of work and like spend a shit ton of time outside, whether you're working or caddying or whatever it's going to be, sitting at the beach, fucking around. Then going back inside, like once it gets later in the day and being a lazy fuck and playing video games is so much more worth it.
Also, the sun fucking wears me out.
Yeah.
I'll go outside. If I stay inside, I will not take a nap. But if I go outside for like an hour or more, as soon as I go back inside, I'm like, wow, I'm fucking tired.
Yeah.
Sun just wears me out.
Yeah.
I used to nap all the fucking, like every day.
I don't nap anymore because I either roll around
What
and I
happened to
can't
your
fall.
things?
What?
Did you get new ones?
I left my white ones at home. So this is my extra pair here. I can't nap. I either roll around and don't fall asleep for like a half hour, or I conk out and I'm out for like 4 hours, and then that's no longer a nap. So I just kind of gave up on it.
Yeah, I
Just have some coffee.
I can definitely nap. I'm easy napper.
Maybe if I start day drinking early, and especially if I'm outside, like if we're drinking on the beach at like 9 a.m., 10 a.m.
If I pass out drunk by 11, that's a good nap, right?
Go back to the house or whatever, and like then I could crash,
Take a quick 4-hour doozy.
recoup, and then go out again. But yeah, but no, it's been cool. Getting back into X-Wing slowly but surely. I was wanting to, and then we were at Celebration, and I saw all the new ships that they had at the Fantasy Flight Games booth. They had a bunch of baller shit there: Legion, Imperial Assault, Armada, Destiny, X-Wing, whatever. There's got to be another game or two that I'm forgetting about that's Star Wars based, but
Guess who I unlocked?
I don't care about that. Dash Rendar. Oh, Canderous Ordo. Nice.
Canderous Ordo. Look at that badass gun that he
Hang on,
has
I'm trying to.
KOTOR.
We're going between different things right now. People are gonna get
They
confused.
don't care. They don't know what the fuck
They
we're talking
care.
about. He wants to know.
I actually don't have the ships. I should have brought them so I could like show. But anyways, I saw all the cool ships at Celebration, and they revamped the whole game. It's version 2, and they added Clone Wars content finally. So I started with the Republic faction for the new ships. I got Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, Mace, Plo Koon, and their Jedi Starfighters, and then clones in the ARC 170. And the old B-Wing, I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
V90 or V19 or something like that. But it's cool. I only played a few rounds. Honestly, it's a lot more confusing than I thought to get back in just because I hadn't played it in so long. All the cards look different, and they changed the rules a little bit. So there's some different modifiers, different attacks, and shit like that. So it's taken some getting used to, but it's fun. And the ships, as always, look fucking dope as hell.
Hell yeah, man. Roll. We're drinking the Darth Malt for our last event that we did not do.
Also, this is a Pilsner Urquell glass mug that you can get. We have 4 to give away. Well, 3 more. You can get if you sign up for the Patreon in the next 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. 3 weeks.
Shinobi said he'll be in and out and in. The old in, out, and out.
You know?
What movie is that? The old in, out, and out.
I don't know, but I know that's a Who song. The Who song. Did you mean to sing that? It sounded like the Who song.
No.
That reminded me, I went to Netflix to try to watch Freaks and Geeks, and it's not on there anymore.
Yeah. Clockwork Orange was the correct answer.
Oh, I haven't seen that in fucking forever.
I watched it, I think, last weekend. Something.
I watched it probably 8 years ago.
8 years?
We did watch, basically me after my wife fell asleep. I watched all 3 Austin Powers over the course of the last week and Dumb and Dumber.
Which is your favorite Austin Powers? I always yell at people about this.
I think I said this last time. I think I want to say 213.
God damn, you're dumb.
Why?
I can't stand 2.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
3's the one where
Fat
they went a little
Bastard-
too far.
Fat Bastard does not do it for me. I don't know what it is. 3's the one where they go to jail, right? Where there's the mini-me rap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like 3. I like Goldmember a lot better than Fat Bastard. Yeah, I don't like the second one. Also, Beyonce Knowles.
Yeah,
When her
you
when
said
her-
that last time we talked about this.
When her cheeks are flopping, remember that? Remember when that?
I don't remember that part specifically. That wasn't in the song first that I listened to.
I would probably go 1, 3, 2. I do like the first one a lot. I think it just set the bar so well.
The first one had some cheesiness in it.
Oh,
I feel like as they went through second and the third one, they just got more and more and more cheesy. Like, because Mini-Me and Dr. Evil sing that, just the two of us.
Yeah.
Like, there's some goofy moments. The whole thing's goofy, but there's some half cringy stuff like that. But I almost accept it. It's just awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Powers.
This third one's my second favorite.
But then you watch Dumb and Dumber and you can see, how much of a masterpiece that is of comedy compared to... Austin Powers is funny, But in like 15 years, is it going to be like a testament to comedy movies?
No.
But Dumb and Dumber will always be amazing.
Yeah, Austin Powers is definitely a thing of the times.
Big gulps.
1, 3, 2 is also how Cody ranks the prequel trilogy.
Technically, yes. How do you know so much about me?
Wait. But I ranked Austin Powers that way, not commit. This is... Stop! Fed Come on.
You can't. Don't be.
Shh.
Shh. Sorry. All right,
if you guys aren't
we're
live
gonna
with
start
us,
talking about Star
this
Wars
is the
in a second.
shittiest show of all time.
No, I enjoy it. We gotta talk about the weather, talk about lives and stuff like that. But no, we're gonna get into some Star Wars stuff. So we do have a little bit of news. Disney announced film premiere dates from 2019 until 2026,
Doesn't mean
including
anything, though, right?
Yeah, including a bunch of Disney remakes, as well as the new Star Wars trilogy, alternating years with Avatar. Wait for it. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to have some Disney shit. We're going to have Avatar. Then we're going to have the first installment of the new Star Wars trilogy. They did not say if this is the Benioff Weiss or if it's the Rian Johnson one. 2022, Christmas time, we'll have that new Star Wars movie. And then 2024 and then 26. Why are you shaking your head? Why are you shaking your head?
Dude, you know what movies I'm never going to see?
Avatar.
Avatar 2 through the rest of them.
Well, now I kind of, at least the second one, I want to go see it because Avatar 1 was so successful. I don't understand why, because I didn't think it was that great. I want to rewatch that, and I do want to see Avatar 2 just to see what all the fuss is about. But I have a feeling they're just going to be like, I don't know.
I really don't know.
You're shaking your head so much.
First of all, they set up an impossible standard, so I get why they're kind of taking it back a little bit. Every other year, that might be it.
Kathleen was actually in an interview at Celebration talking about that. Like they tried it. They tried doing every year. They even tried doing 2 a year with the Solo and everything, and they just said it didn't feel like a good enough cadence for Star Wars. It worked for Marvel, but not for Star Wars. But I think we're going to have a shit ton of shit on the Disney Plus service, though, to tide us over in between like the actual films.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, they'll be filling a lot in betweens there. But, I mean, that's 2 years. You better start filling.
3 years.
What, in between 9 and the next one, you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh.
December 2022.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And then 24 and then 26.
And that's including like the one-offs, the Star Wars stories?
Those aren't announced, so no one knows if they're like going to keep doing Star Wars stories or not. I think that's part of the issue. That's one of the things that the anti-Disney Star Wars fans are using as leverage by saying, "Oh, Solo ruined everything and they're not going to do Star Wars stories anymore." But they could. They just didn't. They didn't say. They were talking about like the main saga.
Oh, baby.
So we'll be taking our kids to Star Wars by the time that shit's come out.
Kids.
What say you?
I'm not having any kids. I don't want to be
Younglings.
overthrown. I don't want to be overthrown.
By your apprentice who is far younger and more powerful.
My kids are all going to be older than me.
Old, weak prophets teaching me the ways of the Sith.
God
You
damn.
just got to pay their rent and food.
Somehow I'm going to tap into the light side.
Instead of having kids, you just adopt people from the old folks' home. And just like sponsor them. Teach me the ways of the Force.
Upload some cooking ideas.
I need a teacher.
You need a teacher.
So, yeah, do you have any comment? Obviously not on Avatar, but
You know, I just...
Star Wars coming out and the break that we have.
3 years?
Any thoughts?
19 to 22, huh?
Well,
And all we're going to have... Well, not all, but we're going to have The Mandalorian, and I'm assuming the Cassian Andor thing's got to come out between there and there. 3 years?
Clone Wars. And probably new shit they haven't announced yet. I mean, this is what we got to realize. It doesn't really hit us until Disney Plus is actually out. But I feel like there's going to be plenty of things to hold our attention
What about
until the
Resistance?
next film comes out.
Is Resistance a continuing thing?
Yep. Season 2 will come out at some point. I don't know what sorry. I don't know what the schedule is for the shows, but it's not canceled or anything. It's coming back. But yeah, that'll be happening, and I'm sure they have a bunch of shit up their sleeves. I would really love, I think we mentioned this before, I would love for them to just all of a sudden Disney Plus comes out and there's like 2 other shows, Star Wars shows on there that we didn't know about. Like for them just to be cooking something up in secret and not have to announce it.
Are we assuming that all the Star Wars movies are going to be on the Disney streaming service
I believe they are.
now that Disney owns North America?
Yes, they are gradually taking over the world. I'm okay with that.
I think Pinky and the Brain are at the top.
That's Warner Brothers, though.
So
Disney's going to buy Warner Brothers next.
They don't need to. Warner
Brothers
Brothers is the Senate.
How dare you?
Pinky and the Brain.
How dare you?
Take over the world.
Also, for the gap here, we do have to think, let's just take, for example, if this is Ryan's trilogy that's going to be coming out in 22 and 4 and 6. He's starting from scratch. I mean, obviously it's the Star Wars universe, but it's a brand new story with brand new characters and probably brand new locations too. There's a lot of world building that goes into that. Like there's a lot of work that they have to do to prep things like that.
Yeah.
I think they were saying in the episode 1 panel at Celebration that they started work on stuff in 94. So there was three years in between episodes 1, 2, and 3, but there was a 5-year build-up to get episode 1 out on the screen. Because they had to create, obviously, the story, but this whole new setting, all the new worlds, all the Naboo stuff, the whole Jedi Council, Anakin, all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I'm making good points, and then you don't have any words to make up, so you're just like, yeah, cool.
No, there's no words.
Yeah, shit, yeah.
No, I was thinking in the back of my head that I wanted to play a little game, but I didn't know whether to play it now and hold off.
Love making up games.
Well, it's not really a game, but kind of is, I guess. Do you want to do the game first, which might take a little bit of time, or do you want to jump into Kyle Saturn?
Well, we don't have too much news. I mean, I did not end up finishing Queen Shadow or Dooku like I wanted to.
Yeah.
I am loving them, and I'm almost done with both. And excited to dive into Master and Apprentice. So I'm going to keep plugging away.
The Padme book is not getting the best reviews.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a groundbreaking novel or anything, but it's good for a Star Wars fan that, especially our age, that loves Episode 1 and loves the Naboo planet and culture and everything. It's dope. It's really good. And I talked for years about wanting like some political information about like Senate stuff that was happening around Episode 1 time, and this is so far like the biggest bulk of that kind of content that we've gotten so far. So I'm a fan. Doesn't mean it's a 10 out of 10 or a 3 out of 3. But yeah, I don't think there's any other Star Wars news really.
As a heads up, I was going to buy that Master and Apprentice book. I was standing there staring at it.
Yeah.
30% off at Barnes & Noble.
Yeah.
Original price was $30 for the hardback.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'll get it at some point. I went home and looked at it on Amazon. It's already $15 for the hardcover. So I'm going to order that shit.
Do it.
Even at 30% off, it was still going to be $22.
I miss you, Teeny.
Yeah.
They're still around, but they're not doing the book service anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I really miss just like seeing an awesome update about Queen Shadow being published. And then I go to check my mail and it's there in my mailbox. Like I really miss that. So
It's pretty good.
makes me sad. But, this gives me a better reason to stay a little more up to date with things.
And no spoilers. How have you been feeling about Game of Thrones? Do you think they're ending it quite well, or is it kind of like, yes, of course it's great, but
I have reserved excitement, and I'm kind of waiting until the season is done to really look back and critique the whole thing. I'm going back and forth between this 1 episode a week thing. I think it has its benefits by giving us some time to sit and think and ruminate on the episode that we just saw. But I also think it makes us judge each individual episode unfairly. Because if we were to watch all of episode 8 in one go, it would feel and look different than watching it once a week.
I mean, people are getting wrapped up about a fucking Starbucks cup. That's what we're worried about right now.
I mean, it's a professional...
It's no longer the perfect thing ever. Like, okay, First of all, the first couple episodes were kind of shaky. Like, there was no budget. They didn't know where, the actors hadn't become themselves yet, become their characters yet.
I mean, with the show, it always takes time for it to take off.
Absolutely.
Game of Thrones is now sitting in Star Wars territory where it's the biggest thing ever. It's the biggest TV show of all time.
It's taken over Star Wars for me right now. Like, just in the immediate future.
Yeah.
Like, I'm more worried about that than the rest of it.
Yeah, but they have that really difficult issue to tackle where it's the biggest show of all time and everybody wants to know how it's going to end. It was already pushed back. We already know that the last season, because there's supposed to be 7 books, but they split season 7 into 7 and 8. So there's a lot of anticipation, a lot of expectations, lots of theories, and they're never, just like Star Wars, they're never going to hit everybody's feels the way they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Without spoilers, my overall impression of season 8 is that the show has not felt quite the same since they passed the books and are now writing it themselves without like adapting George's work. I will say that season 6 was the last one where I felt like everything was unified. Season 7 and 8 have felt a bit more like
7 was a mess to me.
Big blockbuster comic book movie series that's finishing off with a lot of epic moments that aren't necessarily playing true to the Game of Thrones feel. Like, I feel like they've been very reserved with killing off characters. That's
6,
not a Game of Thrones thing. The Night King,
Yeah. 6 was, it ended with Cersei blowing up everything, right?
6 is probably my favorite season.
Yeah, mine by far.
6 is really, really, really gratifying.
Because at the beginning of it, spoiler, if you guys haven't there yet, sorry.
Season 6, that's 3 years ago.
Yeah, come on. But that starts with them bringing back Jon Snow. That's got the Battle of the Bastards in it too, right? And then it ends with
7
Cersei.
has the Battle of the Bastards. Yeah, season 6, episode 2 is when they bring back Jon Snow, I think.
I thought it was right after they brought him back. They did the Battle of the Bastards.
No.
Because isn't Ramsay still prevalent in 6? I don't know. I'd have to go back.
You might be right.
I particularly remember because it was the Battle of the Bastards after they brought him back. And it wasn't in 7. I know that.
Oh, no, you're right. Because it was the Battle of the Bastards was episode 9, and then the Cersei thing was episode 10.
Yeah, so it was just like plop, plop, and then you're like, oh my God. And the Cersei explosion episode was the most tense.
It's one of the coolest sequences. Yeah.
It's the most tense episode of anything I've ever seen. Because it starts off and you just like, there's like a lone violin. And you're like, what kind of Dark Knight bastard bullshit's going on here? And then her king's son kills himself at the beginning. And you're like,
yeah.
What the? Come on, man.
She's a savage, man. That really solidified her as like the ultimate savage to me.
7.
And the shot at the end, I think that's one of the most emotional I've ever gotten in Game of Thrones is the shot at the end where Dany's theme is playing and you see her finally setting sail for Westeros for the first time. She has the entire fleet, all the Dothraki are on the ships, all the Unsullied are on the ships, Dany's standing there, the dragons are flying around and they're all sailing off. Like I get chills every time I watch that no matter what. That is so fucking gratifying.
You know what's weird is I feel like they could have easily done like 10 seasons. Like her arrival to Westeros seems just like so like, okay, Dragonglass, meet Jon Snow, and let's get fucking going. And you're like, wait, you're on one side of the goddamn continent.
I don't see why they didn't make it 10 episodes.
10 seasons.
For season 7 and for 8.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I feel like we're getting to the point where once the books are going to be written, they're going to be 100 times better than what they've done with the. I don't know. They've drawn it out, but at the same time, I feel like the last seasons, 2 seasons, they've left out a lot. First of all, of just very specific details. I need to know more about the Children of the Forest.
Yeah.
I need to know more about the White Walkers and the Night King. And I'm not saying you have to.
You're in pain trying to think of what to say.
No, it's just like I don't want you to explain everything, but like even in conversation, like let me piece it together somehow. And I feel like they have not done any of that especially with the 3-eyed horoscope.
Yeah, like why? There has to be, and that's why I want to wait because there has to be some reason for that.
We'll see. Yeah, they might fix it all in 2 episodes, but probably not.
I mean, it's basically we have 2 more movies to watch, 2 more Game of Thrones movies.
I don't think they're going to be. I think the last episode was the longest, and they're getting shorter from here on out.
Yeah, but only by like 5 or 10 minutes shorter.
We'll get back to Star Wars here. Sorry, that was a rant.
No, it's okay. It's good to bring it up. Because we won't be able to talk about it for another 3 weeks until it's over. I was gonna say one more thing. Yeah, I feel like for season 7 especially, they've been spending a lot of time on very particular scenes and then skipping over other scenes entirely. Like the whole scene where Danny shows up to the court at King's Landing and they're meeting they bring the White Walker to them.
Yeah.
I feel like that whole dialogue sequence and everything, the meeting, took very, very long. And there's been other scenes where they just like totally skip over it.
Well, the reason is because Game of Thrones is about relationships. And they had everybody in one room per se. So they wanted to show the Hound yelling at his brother. They needed to show Jaime and Imp with Cersei. They needed to show...
it's getting like...
Tyrion. I always forget his name. I don't know why.
Getting like Endgame where you have to... You have to bring all these loose ends together.
Because if you don't, of course, that's what people are going to be bitching about. Why didn't Arya say anything to the Hound? You're like, okay.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna hold all other conversation.
But I'm kind of on par with you where it's not blowing me away. Of course, it's still great. I can't wait till tonight. I can't wait till next week. But I'm still, I think season 6. I think also like season 5 was great too. Those 2 in a row and then like 2. It's like 2, 5, 6 are my top.
I think 2 and 6 are up there. I'm a big fan of The Origin. I love season 1. I love episode 1, episode 7. I love Fellowship of the Ring. Like I always love the origin of the trilogy and the saga.
Hey,
except for A New Hope.
I would recommend. I think there's if you just search Game of Thrones timeline on YouTube, there's a guy who explains it all going back like 10,000 years before the episode 1 per se.
Yeah,
and he describes the wars and everything between
Robert.
No, I'm talking 10,000 years.
10,000.
10,000.
Well, Martin has not released any info about book 6, but he did release a book called Fire and Blood, and it's about the Targaryens taking over Westeros 300 years ago.
Yeah. For the longest time,
which I almost bought.
I thought that Dany's younger brother was Jon Snow's, not younger brother, her blonde brother from the first episode was Jon Snow's dad for the longest time.
Are they twins? Viserys and Daenerys, are they twins?
I don't know. They're close. No. I think they're 2 years apart. I actually looked up the tree because they have a much older brother who is Jon Snow's dad.
Rhaegar, yeah.
Rhaegar, and then
that's who Robert kills in the rebellion.
Yeah. Well, Rhaegar, no.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, because Rhaegar is the one that Lyanna and Rhaegar are actually in love.
Yeah.
Robert's like pledged to Lyanna, so he gets pissed when he finds out that they're.
But it's those three that their dad is the Mad King, which.
Yes.
Kingslayer, yeah. Okay. It's just when you start really thinking about it. All right, we'll get to Star Wars.
There's also a site, last thing. There's also a site that has a map of Westeros and Essos, and it has journey lines for every character by season and by episode. So you can like select Daenerys, and by episode it will show you where she starts on the world, and like gradually her line will move like where she goes.
Oh, okay.
Starts here, goes to Karth, goes over here, travels to Westeros. And they have one for the books and one for the show,
10,000.
which are slightly different. Very, very fucking sweet. So, all right.
Kyle Katarn or game?
Let's play the game because Kyle Katarn's a bitch.
That's a fair assessment. Commander Cody.
Oh, Jesus. I almost fell backwards.
So what I'd like to do.
Game it.
I got this idea from Colin Cowherd, who's a sports analyst. But what he does is, like after a week of football, he'll go through and say, this game in 3 words.
Football! So like describing it in just 3 words?
Yeah, describing. And what I'd like to do that for is each Star Wars episode, each Star Wars movie, I guess.
3 like descriptors or like a 3-word sentence?
3-word sentence.
Like this movie sucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what it means to, I guess not like your feeling or your like review of it, but what it means to the universe. So I'll give you an example for like episode 1. I guess we could limit it to just under 3 words. Just keep it real simple. And what I'm going to say for episode 1 is just world building. It's like the world bit. It's the setting. You're introducing so many new species, worlds. Even though these are existing characters in the long run, a lot of new characters that we see for the first time again.
Yeah. Factions.
Factions. You get to see droids like as a war machine. Like there's so much world building or setting. Those were the two words that kept coming to mind. So I guess under 3 words.
I have 2 ready to go. Space film noir.
Yeah.
And I've said that before, but it fits perfectly. It's like a mystery movie with like a buddy cop mystery movie kind of thing.
Why wasn't episode 2 just called The Clone Wars?
I don't know.
It would have been perfect. That's what they call it in episode 4.
No, because it's not The Clone Wars. It literally is Attack of the Clones because they just...
Yeah, but
it's when they first pop up.
Episode 1, Anakin gets made. No, he already exists, bro. That's
Episode 2, Anakin gets mad. Episode 3, Anakin gets
revenge.
cut in half.
Anakin gets revenge.
Episode 6, Anakin gets glad. Don't get mad. Get glad.
Gladware. Put your shit in our bags.
There's a lot to love about episode 2. There's a lot to love about it, I think. Cinematography. I see a lot of posts on Twitter just praising the cinematography of it, the settings, especially all the Anakin stuff when he's killing or going to kill the Tusken Raiders. It's like the nighttime Tatooine shots are really, really pretty. All the Naboo stuff's great. All right, cool. Episode 3 then for you. Let's just trade because I can't think that
that's
fast.
fine. Episode 3, I would probably say, to keep it like really general, good guys lose. Everything falls apart. The Republic, the Jedi, Padme.
It's not going to go the way you think.
Padme fell. Like everything loses.
Everything loses.
No joke. Even Darth Vader loses.
The guy that makes everybody else lose, he also loses.
He
Something.
was the Senate. That's
Padme births twins.
losses will lives.
Episode 4, Dusty Desert Droids. Triple D.
Don't do that again. Are we already done with that?
Dusty Desert Droids. I like it. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess episode 4 would be like,
I mean, I'm not going to take this
you know,
too
in
seriously.
the grand scheme of things, it's almost like the Rebellion Rises. Like finally, we're talking from episode 3 to 4. There's what, 20 years of just murder and.
I would say Rogue One is like spark of rebellion.
Okay.
Maybe not even spark, but yeah, I kind of would say that because we did see that's really like the first true battle of the rebels.
The
Of the rebels and the Empire. So yeah.
Oh wait,
Spark of rebellion.
Are we gonna do this chronologically? Because it's Solo then.
Yeah, I'm just jumping around.
Okay, we'll do Solo.
You said rebellion, it made me think of Rogue. Ooh. FedEx has a good point. For episode 4, you literally just could say A New Hope.
I almost said that. I'm like, I gotta come up with.
It fits.
It does. It does in the grand scheme too. Yeah. Yeah. Episode 4 is like one. Yeah, a last hope almost.
I like talking shit, so that's all I mean by that. Dusty
Solo.
Desert Droids,
I need help
but-
with Solo. A fun time.
It's hard to cut it down to 3 words. It's
It's like an crime
smuggler gets born. Doesn't make sense.
smuggler gets smuggled. Crime.
The main themes of Solo for me is that Han Solo thinks he has to be this type of person to survive, but he's really not at heart, and it takes him a very long time to figure that out. But Kira knows it from day one. So I'm trying to like shrink all that down to 3 words is very difficult.
Han is good.
Han, good guy.
Han, Chewie, ingrown hairs.
Han, very nice.
Han, shower scene.
That's all we need. Han shower scene. There you go. Boom.
Let's jump to episode Empire
Han,
Strikes
Chewie,
Back.
Bath.
Empire Strikes Back.
That's a good
episode
one
5.
too. Vader kills his own troops and no rebels. That's the title for episode 5.
You know, that's such a shaky one. I would say the one word that I come out with is friends and family. Because Luke denies the continuation of training by Yoda to go help his friends. And then in doing that, he finds out who his family is and he hates it. So that's mine I like it.
Overrated frog movie.
Frog does.
Frog does Vegas. This beer's good.
Frog moments. Wise frog.
Wise Frog gets laid by no one.
Wise frog.
If Yoda had gotten laid, he would be a lot smarter and happier.
He was still coming out off that weekend binger when Luke showed up. He was walking home from the... You didn't know there's a large toad population on that.
Toad population.
Toadsingles.com.
Bunch of deleted scenes, too.
Bunch of deleted scenes. Can you imagine how slippery their f***ing is? Like a
slippery.
Everything is just moist.
I hate that word. You know what other word I heard today that I was
In
like,
and out.
that's a cringy fucking word is
Collaboration.
no.
Moist.
Fuck. It's not ooze. It's a synonym of ooze.
Spooge.
Doesn't rhyme. It's a synonym. You fool. Fuck. I'll think of it later. Keep going. So what are we on? Episode 6?
Satchel.
Ho kills slug.
Oh, she's a princess.
I'm just kidding. I love Carrie Fisher.
She's a general.
Jabba dressed her like a hoe.
It's true. She looked good as a hoe. Princess. No, I think there's got the word like retribution has to be there because that's the whole point of episode 6. Bad guy becomes good.
You know I'm torn with episode 6.
Bad guy saves day.
Bad guy redemption.
Bad guy saves day. That's what it happens.
That's 4 words.
Bad guy saves day is
Bad saves good. Sorry, now I'm making stuff up.
dude.
Bad guy redemption.
Dude fixes shit.
Powdered donut rises.
The end of the Sith. It's the end of the Sith.
Now, the funny thing is that we're about to get to episode 7 and 8, and I think those are both perfectly titled as they already are. The Force Awakens,
Okay.
The Last Jedi.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think in like large scheme. Like, what does it mean to the universe?
The
'Cause I feel
Force
like
Awakens is like literally.
Yeah, but that's in the Star Wars universe. I'm saying to us, what does episode 7 mean? It's like a fresh start to me. It's a new beginning,
A new start.
a new spark, a spark of defiance.
A new hope, too, but it's a girl this time.
A new hope again. Another new hope. The first last hope.
I mean, based on the themes that they're putting together, like the story of Star Wars is just going to keep repeating because somebody's just going to wait long enough, rise to power, take over the galaxy, and then some desert fucker is going to have to train and beat them.
Yeah.
So you think, in side note for theorizing right now, like Luke didn't kill the Emperor. He was strong-willed enough to turn Vader back, and Vader killed the Emperor. Do you think that Rey is going to be strong enough to convince Ben Solo to not be a fuckhead, and then Ben Solo is going to kill the Emperor or the Ghost or whatever the fuck the enemy is going to be in 9?
I have a weird theory.
I want to hear it.
All right, for episode 7 and 8, I guess, for Rey in particular. I have a feeling.
Sorry, I had to dance. The beer's good.
Picture this.
Picture, if you will.
Rey murdered her parents.
Oh, why are we going there right now?
Rey murdered her parents.
Picturing.
With what?
Just like Anakin and the Sand People. Because Rey's parents are basically Sand People because she's from Jakku.
What if I just want it to be brutal and I'm trying to ingest Mopar brutality into this shit?
I want it to be brutal. Murder her parents. I'm picturing it. Metallica's playing in the background.
Creeping death. Die. By Rey's hand. It's sand across the land. Killing mother and man. On Mother's Day. What the fuck is happening? No, I really think I do want it to be brutal. I want there to be more to Rey's character. I feel like she's got a lot of internal struggle outside of that. Like there was obvious struggles with what's the blonde Luke. I feel like there was a lot of obvious struggles. They laid it out. Your dad's done. He was a great man, but he got fucked.
Also, you're impatient as fuck.
You're
You just sit down and
impatient. He had a
train.
lot of like obvious issues. Rey was like good at fixing things. Did mind sand,
She's more like Anakin than like Luke, I would say.
perhaps. But I'm saying like she murders her parents. Something went really wrong, and her mind was wiped. Like naturally from the Force. Like it was like, whoa. Like that, a hard reset. The Force was like, you fucked up. Because I don't want anyone else to come in and do it.
The Force, Shinobi jumps back into the show, and you're just talking about Rey murdering her parents. You didn't miss much. We're theorizing right now. Mopar's setting the scene of one of his fan theories. Go ahead.
All right, picture this. Rey's in lingerie. She's murdering her parents. Metallica's playing in the background.
Black or red lingerie?
For her?
Or white? Sand colored.
Green. I want some green on them giblets. She have giblets? Do the girls have those these days?
I think so. Not from Jakku.
They come up all of them.
They don't have those. Those aren't worth portions on Jakku. All right, keep going. Murdering parents.
No, I think
Force wipes her mind.
I'm like ingesting Revan's story into her a little bit where her mind wipes.
Yeah.
But that would just add to everything. You know what happened. You know where your parents are.
You killed them.
You killed them. You killed them. Yeah. Because if that happened, there'd be so much sitting there. Well, I did something extremely bad. How do you live with it? How do you deal with it going forward? Now there's true conflict. Now you're like, well, what the fuck did they do? Were they bad parents? Were they good parents? Was she just pissed?
I think that's a little too dark for Star Wars.
I love it.
Unfortunately.
They would, Metallica would never give up the rights.
If anybody could pay for it, though, it'd be Disney.
Disney buys Metallica.
Do they just make a Metallica theme park? That'd be sweet. It's just fire and like spikes and murder and cage fences.
What if the Force is Rey's parent?
I think it is.
I hope not.
What if Rey is the Force's parent? No, I think I like the idea of the mind wipe thing.
Like she's lost something.
Yeah. I don't know if the murdering the parents makes sense to me.
She doesn't seem all there. Like in episode 7, she's like good at what she does, but she's also like sitting at home, like doing nothing. Like there's nothing to do. I don't know. I get that it's boring there and she's like almost a slave. But you're really good at what you do. You should be over 18 years finding your way somehow.
Yeah.
How is she a good pilot? Is there no other work? I don't know. I just feel like there's something else there. And with her with the rebel helmet, you're like, whoa, there's something else there. Her parents were somebody.
Maybe. That's the problem with theorizing is that
it's a junkyard too. So she probably
JJ could just be like, well, yeah, she just found the helmet. Because that was the last battle of the Empire happened there.
What's the point of putting that helmet in the movie though? It's to call back to something, whether it's a fleshed out storyline.
Like visual imagery wise, it's like to show that she's a good guy and you can see she puts the helmet on and she's imagining herself in some bigger role than just being a scavenger. So storytelling wise, that's why. But physically, nerd canon wise, it's just because the last battle of the Empire happened there and there's a bunch of shit laying around.
What if something dangerously brutal happened to her parents and she was there to see it and she like blacked out and woke up on Jakku? What if... Like, I'm just trying to get to something.
No, I'm with you on that one. There's something big with her being dropped off, that ship leaving, and Unkar Plutt, like, taking her when she's 6 or whatever, however old she is. There's something big there, and, of course, we haven't seen the outcome of that. So...
I don't know. All right, episode 8. What's your words for it? Jesus.
The Last Jedi.
Ruin
Star Wars!
You know what I'm going to say is... I wanted to say something about Luke being a legend, but not truly. Like, doesn't live up.
But then he does.
In his own way.
No,
but he doesn't live up to
the
exact
way that he was supposed to.
Yeah, but in his way, in the Force's way, but everybody else got nothing out of it. What, they get away? Only 80% of us died. Way to go, Luke! Well,
first of all, they survived. Otherwise, Kylo Ren would have killed all of them.
No, only main characters survived.
That's true. They have plot armor. Like Game of Thrones now. No, I mean, I think he became a legend in the perfect way. He had this thing in his head where he was like, there's all this weight on my shoulders and I have to do these particular things. And then at the point where we are in episode 8, he thinks he can't do anything because he doesn't want to put people in danger. But him force projecting himself and distracting Kylo, and like that is the quintessential Jedi way to attack. He's not attacking anything.
Yeah. The cutting off of the Force is huge. Like, that's what gave him his power, and that's the legend that wraps around him, that he was able to use those powers one way or the other to defeat Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine in everybody else's eyes.
See, that's an interesting part, and as much shit as I give Episode 6, that is really cool. Vader's redemption had nothing to do with the Force.
Yeah, it's all family.
It's all Luke being like a true, like a good-willed person and believing in whatever little smidge of goodness was left in Anakin's severed arm. He found it and he just exploited it. But yeah, there's like no Force that went into that, which I think is interesting. Which is why I don't give Luke that much credit as like a Jedi Master.
It's almost
like he's a good person.
We always get back to it, but that good person almost makes the best Jedi Master.
True, yeah.
Because you're not conflicted.
But he's not looking for a great warrior. He's not a great warrior. But he's a good Jedi Master.
The fact that he says that, a great warrior.
War's not making him great.
Yoda's like, fucking flashlights make me great.
I just spent a whole war and I lost everybody at the end of it. Didn't matter.
Great warrior, am I? Is that what happened?
I rode this llama into battle on Coruscant. You should have seen it. It was fucking amazing. Now I can't even find my flashlight.
My dude, Mace Windu, he could take robots apart like a motherfucker. He was a great warrior too until he got chopped in half by your dad. God damn.
What?
Episode 3 is so good to me. It's so good.
I need to watch it again sometime soon.
Everything's just so, like, I don't care. The lines are bad. They say it poorly, whatever. Everything that happens, like Grievous dies. Dooku dies. It's like almost the good guys are going to win. And then right at a twisting point, you're like, no, Anakin, you fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
And then if they were to show some murdering of the younglings, actual battle in the, like if they would have shown.
No, they showed plenty.
If they would have shown 30 seconds of him like igniting and then like jumping into battle, just give me that. Like igniting with the people behind him.
Like at the temple, you mean?
Yeah, and then he looks up and you see the Sith eyes and you just see him like jump into battle. Huh! Just a smidgen. You don't need to show him cutting up people.
Smidgen widgen. Yeah.
Just a hint of action. You gave me nothing. You gave me walking up steps like Rocky Bullwinkle.
Rocky Bullwinkle. Yeah, I mean, I think Episode 3 suffers from things that all of the first 6 Star Wars movies suffer from. There's some goofiness in all of them. Episode 5 is a little unique, I think, just because of the script was written by not George Lucas, and I think that's one of the biggest differences with Episode 5 compared to everything else, and that's why it's still regarded as the best one. He just has a way with words that comes off really well. Like I was watching the other day, and just
what particular are you talking about? 5?
In 5, yeah, like the knowledge that Yoda drops when he's on Dagobah, there's like some really fucking good dialogue there. And that stuff is just not as present in episodes 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes in 6, but not even then. Not as much. But yeah. I don't know where I was going with that.
I guess my point was...
I like Episode 3.
Episode 3, it was a pinch point in many aspects because you have to get to 4.
Yeah, I think
these people have to die in whatever way. Like, you have to wrap it fucking up and make it work. Mm-hmm. Now, you had 2 movies to set it up, but you had to build worlds, create a war, and then end the war and kill off these specific people. Like, the way it was done, man. Oh, man. I love it.
If I do have any fear for Episode 9, it's that the same thing that 3 had to cope with, same thing that Thrones is coping with now. The thing that Endgame did perfectly is that they do, regardless of the storyline of the film itself, they have a lot of loose ends to tie up. Just to wrap the saga, the 9 episodes of the saga up, and put a nice little bow on it.
No, all they have to wrap up is a sequel.
No, that's not true.
Luke's gone. Leia's the only one left.
Palpatine's back in the goddamn thing.
0%. I'm calling it right now.
5%.
No, he's not back. And actually, Shinobi just said, wait, new theory. Kylo is a vessel for Palpatine's spirit and Rey's a vessel for Anakin's.
I don't like that. That throws away all the character development of Ben and of Rey in the first place.
I agree. Stupid theory.
Get out of here.
Don't come back.
It's an interesting idea. Seat's taken. It's an interesting idea, but I feel like that just takes away all the power of them being characters themselves.
Scoot into the.
That's why I am in. That's why people like were theorizing for Endgame, like, you know, I guess technically with time travel, there is a way to bring Tony back. I was like, bringing him back just negates everything that he stood for and did to set things right in Endgame.
But
like,
they
that makes
won.
no point.
They won with him being killed. That's the whole point. That was the 1 in 4 million or whatever, 14 million.
14,605,000.
He can't live. You can't bring him back.
Right, I know.
Or somehow, when you try to bring him back,
Yeah.
Thanos wins. That's the whole point of them doing that.
Yeah.
It had to happen this way.
We'll see.
Doctor
Maybe.
Strange made it that way.
We'll see with Spider-Man Homecoming. Or,
Prom.
Spider-Man college graduation.
College.
What the fuck's it called? Far From Home. Sorry.
That looks pretty good. Who is that? Incognito? What's
It's
his name?
Spider-Man, Peter Parker.
Who's the Magno?
Parker Peter.
The Magno bot.
Mysterio.
Mysterio.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah. He doesn't look too bad. I can't get past Jake Gyllenhaal being a
Donnie
superhero
Darko.
at all.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't buy it. And it's nothing against the character or anything. You look at him like, oh yeah. No.
What?
Remember that?
I don't. I think it looks great. I don't know anything about Mysterio.
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal doesn't do it for me.
As much as I watched the Spider-Man cartoon back when I was a kid, I don't remember the details about a lot of the heroes at all, or villains.
What has Jake Gyllenhaal done? The Donnie Durangus.
Donnie Trangus, Dringle Cankus, Johnny Darko. I don't know everything. Fucking Jarhead.
Oh yeah. I don't mind him in war movies.
End Code or something. Code name.
Jake.
Code Watch. Source Code.
God, Gyllenhaal's a fucked of a last name.
Fucked of a last name.
Look at there's 2 L's, a Y, there's 2 A's, an E.
Yeah, it's not great.
Okay, let me look up the movies here. I'm sorry.
Brokeback something or other.
Brokeback Mountain. That's where he's a gay dude. Yeah, like End of Watch is one of my favorite movies of all time, actually. Also,
Yeah, End of Watch is good.
October Sky is really good. Yeah, he's got some solid ones under his belt. I feel like the name is bigger than.
Oh yeah, that's Michael Pena in End of Watch.
Yeah,
Him and Michael. Oh, dude, that's a good movie.
that made me cry, dude.
Oh, I need to watch that again.
That made me cry.
Fuck.
Yeah, so he's got some decent ones. He's also got some really bad ones. What's Prince of Persia: Sands of Time? I used to have that game for Xbox.
Yeah, they did a string of like making video games into movies.
Also, Southpaw, I've heard nothing but good things. October Sky, yes. You know what's funny is October Sky, I watched in 6th grade in Mrs.
Is it the one where the kid plays guitar?
No, they build rockets.
Oh.
I had it with Mrs. She was a history teacher, looked like Jabba the Hutt. Just as vile.
Jangle the Brain.
Do you know? And I don't mean like.
No, I don't know.
She was a nightmare of a woman, but I don't mean it badly. But she was a nightmare of a woman. God, I don't remember her name. That's probably a good thing.
What?
You
Do
didn't
remember
have
this person? She looked like Jabba the Hutt, and she was a nightmare of a woman.
She was.
Oh my God.
You know what she who reminds me of her? Monsters Inc. Wazowski, the old lady Wazowski. Just not as.
I don't remember ever having a smoking Jewish Jabba the Hutt nightmare person as a teacher.
a smoking Jewish Jabba the Hutt. Wazowski.
I don't remember that at all.
But we watched that movie for whatever reason in her class. She probably just had enough of us. Like she went straight physics.
That's how
just
most of our classes went senior year.
We got a week to talk about rockets.
What can I do to get these people to shut up? Let's turn on Star Wars.
October Sky.
Oh man. Sorry. Yeah. I was thinking of. There's another movie, August something. There's a bunch of movies with the names of the months. I don't know. One of them, the kid plays guitar or something. So.
Mopar would have been good as Shazam.
Oh, we still haven't seen that.
Oh, that's the superhero movie. Yeah.
Also, Detective Pikachu came out this weekend.
I've heard very good things.
So have I. And about Shazam too.
FedEx asked, did we have any hot teachers? Can you remember? We had one like really
Yes.
cute physics teacher, the chemistry teacher.
Chemistry teacher, yeah, Mrs. Pashley.
But outside of that,
She looked like Padme, kind of.
no. The Brit Lit teacher, there were certain people that were into her. Because it was like our first year. She was actually really young. She was just like not an old lady.
Way over her league. Like we were fucking around in that class, man. I feel bad. Like that was her first year teaching, and she had like you and me and Dave Baker.
You weren't in my class?
I know, but we were in the same different periods, but we were in the same class.
My class was Dave Baker, Fred, Ryan, Franz, me, and then Weston. Remember Weston?
Yes.
One day he was sleeping in class. We had the last period. He was sleeping in class, and she goes, Weston, you better wake up or you're going to CLC, which is our detention. And he goes, can I sleep in there? I was like, oh my fucking God.
Savage.
She's like, just wake up.
Some people just gave the fuck up and they're just like, okay, whatever, bitch.
But as soon as they gave up, they had a great time too.
Yeah, that's true. Once they gave in, stopped teaching us and started joking around with us. Oh, man.
We would just like before every French class go up and write dirty words in French and then we would just learn about it because they had nothing else to do.
See, I had to teach us. It was in French.
We
wrote it in French. It was fine. Man, that's one of my biggest regrets is that my computer that my mom had back in the last few years of high school, I lost like all the video stuff that we did. We had a bunch of like ridiculous video projects and we would just make CKY style videos for basically anytime we had something to do that wasn't a test. We were like, can we just do a video for this instead? And we would just fuck around and throw shopping carts at each other and run into lockers and somehow made it into a French video.
We did
all right, just speak this in French.
We did a Nazi war video in a cul-de-sac.
Shit, dude, I forgot about that. Oh my God.
with a Hispanic dude. We had a Nazi war video in a cul-de-sac with a Hispanic dude.
That would not fly today. Wow.
Yeah.
Luckily, I don't have the footage, so you can't see it.
Someone still has it. I guarantee you, one of the French teachers still has a copy because I'm pretty sure she asked either one to keep it or two if she could get a copy of it.
Well, looks like we need to make a little trip back and see if we can get those videos.
Savagely, yeah.
If we have a way to play DVDs, I don't even
know. Last thing, let's wrap up this word game here. Episode 9. Episode 9. Let's try to do it.
It hasn't come out yet.
Star Wars continues.
Skywalker lives. That's what's going to be called.
Skywalker lives.
Palpatine is back.
What if in episode 9 we see Snoke brutally murder her parents?
Episode 9, the 9th episode.
We're almost done.
I want to know about Snoke. I want to know when those comics are coming out.
The new legend. I think Rey might become a fucking legend.
Nah.
You know, even if... Okay, this is what's going to happen. Even if Kylo does something well and redeems himself personally, he's still going to be viewed as the bad guy in the galaxy, and he will never be remembered like that.
There's I'm failing to think of an example, but that's a common movie thing. Like with Snape in Harry Potter. No one except for like Harry and his family know how much of a badass Snape actually was.
And nothing would have happened.
And even if Harry explained it, everybody would be like, no, Snape's a dick. What are you talking about?
Kylo's going to he's going to be a downfall. Well, he's going to be his own downfall. Like even if he saves Rey,
it could go both ways, man.
Because it's going to be such a personal thing. I think he's going to die saving Rey or his mom, which would be even crazier. Happy Mother's Day, Leia. All right. Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Keep going.
I think Kylo's going to die saving one of the two, and only one or the two are going to know about it. But they're going to get away. He's going to literally probably be fighting off the the First Order.
Yeah.
He's going to be sitting there like fucking around killing them, but then he's going to die, and then they're going to get away.
He's going to do what Luke did in 8 for the Resistance, is what you're saying? Whoa. Oh, FedEx is asking me to clarify. Kylo could go both ways. Yeah, they've set it up in such a way they teased us with the Reylo stuff in 8. With Rey trusting in Ben, getting the full story of what happened that night when Luke betrayed him. And she trusted in him and took a chance. But then they ended that movie with him going back to his sorcerous ways, taking control of the First Order, and then trying to go kill the Resistance and Rey. Because she didn't join him. So they set it up so they literally could go both ways with him. He could be just pure evil, and he's just lost and gone forever.
Pure dag nasty
Luke
evil.
says he comes back. I can't save him. Leia says, I held out hope for so long. So he just could be pure deg nasty evil, or he could come back to the light. He could cut down the Knights of Ren, carve a path for Rey and her crew to go fuck Palpatine up.
I have a feeling that he's gonna defend Rey and or Leia from the Knights of Ren.
Yeah,
He's gonna be like leading the Knights of Ren to some point, and they're gonna cross paths, and the rest of them are just gonna go fucking murderous attack, and he's gonna be like, whoa, like I can't do this.
Yeah,
He already pulled back in episode 8. We saw, even though he went full bore and took over the First Order.
Yeah,
he still couldn't do it.
Yeah, not when it comes to his mama. Yeah, I think Kylo's definitely going to be at odds with the Knights of Ren. Don't know how it's going to happen, but yeah, I think Kylo has definitely some dark side attributes. He's definitely a troubled kid. He's fucked up, and he's pretty evil right now. But I think he's going to witness the pure evil, of Palpatine, and then he's going to realize what is in store for the galaxy.
What if
he's plain? He's just a child in a mosque.
What if Rey, Leia, and the Knights of Ren, including Kylo, cross paths and they go into fucking battle, and Leia's doing some crazy like Jedi mind shit?
They gotta be really careful with that.
Well, we already know how strong she is with the Force. She can save herself in space.
But she can't jump up like Scarlet Witch and start throwing people around.
No, but stasis, push. I want to see her do. No, you don't want to see any of that.
No.
Fucking mind erase.
No.
Everything shut down.
What?
We shut down now?
What are you talking about?
I was hoping and praying the thing would just shut down and we would quit, because I've had enough of this shit.
We're not going to stop the show. We're going to keep podcasting until my computer self-destructs.
Guys,
so this could be 3 months.
My mind's going here.
I know what you're saying.
If they cross paths, and let's just say Leia somehow, some way takes out one, and then we see another one stop mid like slice, and then the camera swings around and it's actually like Ren stasising, like the dude's about to chop Rey in half and just stop. And it's like Kylo like igniting his lightsaber with his hand out. He's like, this can't happen. He just goes fucking hammer.
That's a very good like JJ style director shot too, though.
But in all of that, Leia dies.
I think she's got to die. I hate to say it, but I think she does. I mean, she's just like 80.
Something small where she makes a difference, where that happens and they got to get away, but one person's got to stay and do something. A holdo. Where Leia just has to hold a door, or like something stupid.
Hold the door.
Yeah, she's got to go hold door. Farm Boy is triggered nasty pissed.
Why? Because you're saying Leia's gonna die?
No, probably because I'm suggesting that Leia's gonna be using Force powers.
Yeah, she's not that kind of Jedi.
What if she uses a fucking blaster, which we've already seen her do? What if she takes a fucker out using a blaster?
She's always fucking around with the blaster.
No. I mean, I would be more okay with that. I mean, I get it. Like, I don't want to see her swinging a lightsaber. No. I don't want to see her like doing anything physical, but like a stasis, a push. All you got, you're just like, okay, this, and then done. And you're helpless otherwise.
I picture her on defense.
Yeah.
Like if she
if there's a huge fence, she's on top of it. It's her fence. Leia fence.
She built the fence. Leia's
she just goes Fortnite. Like mid battle, she just starts building shacks and shit.
Shacks. Yeah, those are gonna withstand the First Order.
Leia Castle.
No, I've pictured her on like very defensive Force powers, if any, and maybe some like mind tricks or persuasion.
That would be cool though. Like
some real nice little treat.
I'm picturing like a Skyrim ward. Like if she does like some defensive ward or something like that.
I think it'd be really a treat to see her.
What kind of treat?
Use something, but not like have to do a gesture. You know what I mean?
I think I need to see her do a gesture.
Like if she just like you see her like close her eyes and focus, and then there's like a barrier in front of the resistance or something. I don't know. I could talk about it all day, but you never know what's gonna happen. I think they're just gonna do a time jump.
We'll go back in time,
travel, get the Iron Gauntlet, the Infinity Gauntlet, the Jedi Gauntlet.
She'll show everybody in the Resistance the butthole in the ground on Octo.
Nobody's ever really gone.
They'll all jump in there and they'll show up in Episode 3, and they'll prevent Vader from doing anything.
Nobody's ever really gone.
Nobody's ever really gone.
Don't worry, farm boy. Nobody's ever really gone.
If you slow,
This beer's never really gone. Unfortunately, yes. If you slow what? Talk while you're drinking at the same time. Use the force. It's okay, Solo. We'll use the force.
Kill off Finn. Kill off Poe.
That's the tough
Kill
one.
off Rey.
I don't think they will. I think they would have killed off Finn in 8. But
You know what's funny? What if they just kill off the Resistance and then happiness ensues?
First Order brings a new order to the galaxy.
Yeah, and the Order is a fucking large fry.
And the moral
Everybody
of the
likes
Star
fries.
Wars story is like, if you had just listened to Anakin, he would have done this 40 years ago, and everybody would be fucking fine.
We'll make them be
Stop
good.
fighting each other. I don't think the system works.
It's more about action, not deliberation.
Trouble is that nobody ever agrees. Well, then they should be made to. What is Padme thinking right there? You fucking fascist?
I mean, he gets things done. Everybody knows he's impulsive, but he gets results. So it's like, of course, you probably
But at
shouldn't have
what
done
cost?
that. But also, but at what cost?
You know, I've been watching some of the Clone Wars. I've been going back through it chronologically. There's some extreme disparity with things, and the plot armor is crazy thick in that show. I was watching a scene where Anakin's leading this group of Y-Wings with Plo Koon as an escort on some bombing run, and they're going through some shortcut through this supernova or whatever, and it's dangerous. So they start going through it, and Anakin's like, oh yeah, it's just this shortcut. Smugglers use it all the time. And Plo Koon's like, what? There's fucking giant manta ray space beasts out here. We're all gonna die. And they get through, and Plo Koon's so pissed, and like half the Y-Wings clones are dead. And then they find the Separatist ship. They do their mission. They blow shit up. And at the end, Plo Koon's like, man, Anakin, you're such a good leader. I'm so glad we have you on our side. It's like, dude, he lost almost all your troops. You were scorning him the entire mission. And then all of a sudden at the end, just because you won, Anakin blew shit up.
Dude.
You're just like, Anakin, you're a great master.
First of all, that's just shining. It's showing the blindness of the Jedi.
No, it's
Like
not.
Anakin's not. He has full view of everything. He can see every option.
But for himself, but when he's leading the clones and the other Jedi into battle, like
What
he's
are they
taking
called?
risks and losing people.
What are they called? Clones.
Yeah.
Make another fucking batch of them, and let's get the shit done.
They're not called the Expendables. They're called clones.
They're called cloners.
The point is that he's not following the Jedi path. Like he's getting shit
He
done,
doesn't
but
have
at what
to.
cost? But he's a Jedi. He's supposed to.
If
The point- all
my
right,
whole
listen.
point, my whole argument is, if he didn't have the label the Jedi, he would have been a good guy with a couple slip ups and then been fine. He would
Yeah, I mean,
probably
definitely.
He probably would have Padme would not have died.
Yeah. Not from a Jedi.
Simply, he would have cut Sidious's neck in half. Like if the word Jedi was not attached to Anakin Skywalker,
Yeah.
because he was a slave of the Jedi rules. Was Anakin Skywalker ever free? He was a slave of the Jedi.
I didn't want to get into philosophical argument about Anakin. My point was that the show is not consistent, and I think it's interesting. The show is just not consistent.
Which part of it?
All of it.
arrogance
After going through like 10 episodes, I'm really conflicted with watching the whole thing chronologically so I don't miss anything, but also I just want to like get the big chunk story parts out, and I want to skip all this annoying plot armor nonsense with Anakin and the Jedi.
Your arrogance blinds you, MasterCard Yoda. Use your
Dude,
MasterCard.
my buddy has a Darth Vader themed like Visa card. I need to get one. I don't know how he did it, but
They
I
have
want
those, yeah.
one. I know. I want one.
Damn, I hope everybody can still hear after
I can
that.
just EQ that
And if
out.
you
in
can't-
post, don't worry.
If you can't hear us now, then it's hopeless.
Do you want to talk about Kyle Katarn, or probably not really because he sucks? Is there anything else further?
real quick.
We talked about the book releases last week.
right,
There's been no news, and we're not talking about Thrones anymore.
What I want to do is just real quickly walk through this because, first of all, I was never a huge fan of Kyle Katarn because the Jedi Knight series that I played as a kid, I didn't get. Well, no, it was really good, but
I'm just kidding.
I was young enough that I didn't care about the story. I was just wanted to walk in, shoot some aliens and be
Yeah,
like,
you don't
good.
really like pick it up that much when you're
And
young.
that was also actually before I was a Star Wars fan. Like I just was playing a Star Wars game I didn't play it because it was Star Wars. Is my point.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to walk through what Wikipedia says about, and I searched Kyle Katarn. It says Kyle was originally a member of the Galactic Empire. Before becoming a mercenary for hire, he regularly worked with the Rebel Alliance. What the whole point was.
Wait, you're on Wikipedia,
Wiki, yeah.
not Wikipedia.
There's too many
There
E's.
could be some discrepancies.
So he was introduced as a formal Imperial officer who became a mercenary for hire after learning the Empire was responsible for his death, or the death of his father. So there's kind of like already a built, like, he has a grudge. He's already
Pissed.
He's pissed. And it makes sense because he's kind of a shitty dude. Like, he's not a good person. He's kind of the Han Solo, but has force powers. So it's kind of cool. It says during the Jedi Knight series, Mon Mothma dispatches him secretly on missions deemed too dangerous or sensitive for actual rebel operatives.
She's okay with throwing away lives, Mrs. Mothma.
No, I think she knows that if I want this actually done or completed, I gotta send this fucker in because he's the Han Solo of it. He'll just get it done.
Yeah.
Not cleanly, not correctly, but he'll get it done.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the Jedi Knight series. The game begins shortly before the episodes of A New Hope, and that's where they get the plans for the Death Star.
With Janor's.
Jabba the Hutt, Frank and Rankin, Arkhammer. So the Jedi Knight 2, Dark Forces 2, takes place 1 year after the events of the film The Return of the Jedi, so we're 1 year after. It begins with 88, so I thought it was IG-88. It's 8T-88. They clearly looked different, but I thought like, oh, it's 1995. They just fucked up the way he looks. I don't know. So it's
Like the same kind of droid?
yeah, it's similar.
Yo.
So it begins with 88, information droid telling Katarn, basically he's talking shit to Katarn, about the Dark Jedi Jarek. So this is after episode 6.
So where are all these dark Jedi coming from?
Yeah, I really think it's just people that are force sensitive that start getting pissed off.
Yeah, but the Jedi were gone, so what were they doing while the Empire was hanging around?
Whoa. Like
You said
there's
this is a year after Return of the Jedi?
This is just force sensitive people that aren't Sith and aren't Jedi that are getting pissed off, and they're like, well, you're pissed.
Yeah, but if they're the bad guy in the game, do they not have like a base and a bunch of troops working for them and all that shit?
No, there's like a group of 3 dark Jedi. The leader's Jarek, and then there's like there's that climby
Oh, the climbing guy. I know.
Bib Fortuna.
Twi'lek.
Yeah, he's just laughing.
I like how that didn't look like a Twi'lek at all, but you said Bib Fortuna, so I got it. Stop.
What happened since?
That was me. Sorry. I really don't have that big of a grudge against Kyle Katarn. I don't know much about his story. I just when I heard that he wasn't force sensitive and then he became a Jedi with Luke and then he gave up his force powers, I thought that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in Star Wars. So I was like, fuck Kyle Katarn from this day forward.
He's a Jedi almost before Luke becomes a Jedi.
What?
Keep that in mind. Yeah, because the first one starts a year before episode 4.
Yeah, but he's just a dude with a gun there.
Yeah, it's kind of
stealing the Death Star plans. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I guess Jedi Knight 2, or I'm sorry, Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight. They mix it up. It says Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2.
Correct.
But Dark Forces is the name of the game.
No.
So why wouldn't they?
Because they have Dark Forces as the first game, and then you have Jedi Knight, which is the sequel to Dark Forces. Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2.
But shouldn't it be Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight?
Well, they named it wrong because it was the 90s.
Title situations.
LucasArts didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah, I'm kind of walking back through, and I feel okay with Kyle Katarn. He gets pissed. He gives up the Force. Episode 8. Who the fuck gives up the Force? The Legend.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
But the way he gets it back, so the whole Valley of the Jedi thing is kind of a cop-out. I agree. But that's not a character issue. Yes. It's just a thing that he's able to use.
So he cuts himself off from the Force.
He cuts himself off from the Force, but this isn't a whole nother game. There's like a trilogy of Kyle Katarn.
All these 90s games are all Kyle Katarn, right?
Well, Jedi Knight 2, whatever. Sorry. Mysteries of the Sith is an expansion basically for Jedi Knight. Jedi Outcast is all about it, and then he's got Jedi Academy. There was actually an argument about him being the number one number one game character of all time because he goes through so much. He goes from just a guy gunning, then he gets a lightsaber and he finds out things about his parents and he becomes a Jedi. Then he gives up the Force. Then he fights a dinosaur. Remember that one? And then he trains a dude.
That didn't help my opinion of Kyle Katarn at all.
And then he trains a dude in Jedi Academy, and then Jedi Outcast, he's back on his own. Dude, there's so much shit. Like, it's so good.
What I will say is that it's dope that even back then, they were using video games to tell this ongoing story of one main character. I will say that LucasArts, that they do things the right way.
And it was a fucking treat. Like when you're Kyle Katarn and you're running around and for like a random mission, Luke will show up and help you because he's like, look, you're gonna need the help. I've fucking foreseen it or some shit.
Haven't you foreseen the ending of it too?
Have you? Oh my God. When I was double downing with Luke and he was like running around shocking people with Force lightning.
What?
Oh my God.
That's not allowed as the Jedi code.
The Jedi code is whatever the fuck Luke wants.
I was
going
to say that was the EU stuff where like Luke just rebuilt the Jedi Order and he was perfect. Banged Mara Jade and just made up all the new rules.
Well, there's also a bunch of Mara Jade in here. So Mysteries of the Sith, Dark Forces 2 expansion takes place approximately 5 years later after 6. The game focuses on a former Imperial assassin Mara Jade, who comes under Kyle's tutelage as she trains to be a Jedi. So she's Mara Jade, Legends Mara Jade, well, the only Mara Jade, started becoming a Jedi under the influence of Kyle Katarn.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that her story and her character is bad, but I don't know. There's a cult of people that think.
A cult. You're talking about Richard, our new patron, and Kerner, and me.
Yeah.
Everybody but you. That cult out there.
There's a cult of people that think the new canon sucks because Mara Jade's not in it.
I almost agree, but I get why they didn't. Because she was created in video games and then like bolstered in
No, she
books.
started in the Thrawn trilogy. Because she was hunting down
What Thrawn trilogy?
the original one from the 91 whatever.
Okay, 91?
Uh,
As I say, you're getting close because 94...
boom.
Dark Forces.
No. I can't remember what they are.
The last-
Heir to the Empire,
Heir of the Empire.
Dark Force Rising, and The Last Command. Because she's in that one hunting Luke down. But yeah, she starts, and there's some backstory about her working with Palpatine, and she's in like a Force assassin. Basically, like the Inquisitors now are kind of what Mara Jade was in Legends, because Palpatine had this whole crew of Force sensitive people that were assassins for him.
I don't get why Palpatine did that. Like, I get it. And he would call people.
It's a convenient
Sith.
little retcon for him. His downfall is because he didn't follow the order of the rule of two.
But the whole purpose of him bringing in other people and training other people and allowing this to happen was to test Vader, for the most part.
Yeah.
So that almost bolsters it.
Got
like if
thrown down a goddamn trash compactor chute. Trash chute.
Did you ever think of the moist word?
Oh shit.
Succulent?
No, it was like
Loose.
loose. Shit. No.
You said like
started with an S and it was a synonym for like ooze.
splooge.
You said that last time. It didn't work.
Sewage.
No. Let me look it up.
For
I heard it, I was
ooze?
like, that's
oh, to
gross,
like to secrete?
secrete. I think that's what it is. Yeah.
To ooze. To secrete.
Secretion. Ugh, no. Never say that in my presence.
Like if I was if you could milk me, and then I was secreting.
I have nipples. Could you milk me? The only good line from Meet the Parents.
The whole movie, yeah. Yeah, I'll shit on that movie all day. I'm not a fan of Doris Day and the Knights of Ren.
Dude, oh my God, this is hilarious. So, you know, Morris Day and the Time and Jungle Love. My uncle was dancing. That was apparently like his college song.
Jungle Love.
So he had the DJ put that on, and he had this fucking weird like Austin Powers style dance that they were all doing together. And I know the joke from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. But that's the first time I actually heard the song, and I was hammered. And I just look over, and he's doing this ridiculous fucking bird dance to Jungle Love, and I was losing my mind. It was so funny.
Mind lost.
Oh.
My Jungle Love.
So funny.
That's awesome.
Bunch of 80s kids.
I watched Clerks 2 just to wrap all this up. Kyle Katarn we're done with.
Fuck Kyle Katarn.
Truly.
Clerks 2. Never go ass to mouth. Fuck the Martian ones.
Yes. Fuck the homeboy. Fuck the Martian. Dude,
where he just there's two things in that where they aren't crucial to the plot at all, but I cry myself to sleep because it's so funny. The one is when he's just talking shit and then he kicks the beer can. And the other one is when they're singing Slayer and he just crawls through the drive-thru window. It's just ridiculous shit. They're coming up with Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back 2 or something like that.
They better.
Something like that.
Like I am quickly thinking that Clerks 2 is better than Jay and Silent Bob the first one.
Yeah, I think it definitely is. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back had a lot of those like goofy comedy tropes that Austin Powers stuff did. But Mark Hamill's in it, so it's instantly good.
Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Never go
Kyle
fist
Katarn.
the dick. Kyle Smaggins.
Never go forced to
Smack the spirit of Marco Ragnar. All right, fellas and ladies.
All right, time to go watch Thrones.
Yep, getting lubed up for that. Rogue Squadron Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. We do still have, and while Richard's here, if he's still here.
Hi.
Oh, there he is.
Hi.
Richard will be getting one of our, not one of our, but a clean one, mugs that we drank
Can't
out.
see anything right
Pilsner
now.
Urquell. Yeah,
they're
they're
empty.
just too shiny. But you'll be getting one of our final Pilsner Urquell mugs. We've got 3 left. They will go to the 3 next patrons.
Yes. So Farm Boy, I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
Everybody else on here is already a patron, so thank you for your support.
Urban businessman. That's what I like him.
City Slicker.
Inner city sluggers. Good day, Galaxy.
Hey, everybody.
I like it. Red or green lingerie on Ray.
Red or green? Black.
Green.
It's not Christmas time.
Green. Could be, depending on what she's opening up.
And what planet? Oh.
What kind of presents I got, baby?
What planet she's on?
Ow!
Did you put that shit under the tree?
Put that shit. All right, baby. I want you to get under the tree. I want you to have a nice cold beer ready. You get under the tree. Make sure it's clean because I don't want no pricklies in anything. Let me open that present.
Is there a soccer where I can plug these lights into? All right, we're done. We are taking a 2-week hiatus. Mopar's getting married, and then he's going to Alaska. And then I'm just not going to record by myself because what would I talk about? Tomorrow what?
Do it with Fode.
Flowed?
With Fode.
I thought you said you weren't doing it tomorrow.
Why don't you and Fode do it? That's a really good point. Yeah, I know, Mopar.
Nah. No.
Neither of us are good enough to do
Take
a
a
whole...
2-week hiatus, and we're going to come back with a lot of content, a lot of shit to do. You'll be married. We need to have
Game of Thrones
We need to have the wives on.
will be over.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones will be over. We're going to have to do a whole episode on Game of Thrones.
Episode 193 will be all Thrones, probably. We got to have the wives on, talk about what they don't know about Star Wars.
I would rather not.
It'd be fun.
Pass on that.
What else? I think that's it.
Shazam came out 2 months ago.
We'll maybe have seen Pikachu and Shazam by that point.
Shazam's, yeah, I gotta try to catch it. It's gone, man.
I do want to go see Endgame another time or two, probably. So, but yeah, so we're gonna be off for 2 weeks. So we love you all. Thanks for listening. Join the Patreon if you haven't already, because it's worth your time. And if you're listening live right now, make sure you subscribe to the podcast on iTunes or whatever the fuck else you want. Oh, I think we did get approved for Pandora, so we should be on Pandora in like a week or two.
If you search the name of the show,
You won't find us. For anything else, all your other needs, just check us out at StarWars.beer.
Star Wars Beer. I do want to give a shout out and a thanks. 3 out of 3 on
The Darth Malt.
the Darth Malt that we drank today. 3 out of 3. What was it? 6% alcohol. Great.
Seventh
Son.
Thank you.
Seventh Son Brewery in Calumet.
Thank you.
They're right down the street and they got beer. Do you want to go there? We're done wrapping it up. Wait.
Which one is it, bitch?
All right, we are done recording, but we are still live with you. Shenanigans. I gotta run home. Catch the second to last episode of The Greatest Thing Ever.
Go home, watch a little recap video, crack open another beverage, and fuck around. Second to last episode of all time. The Mad Queen will rise this weekend.
Do you think the Mad Queen's gonna be Daenerys though? Because she's fucking pissed.
That's what I mean.
I have a feeling
She's losing her mind gradually.
they're gonna kill her. I think Jon Snow's gonna end up doing it. I don't know. We'll see.
Jon Snow's the rightful king.
There's only like 3 hours left.
The fact that he doesn't want to be king makes him the most rightful king. All right. Love you guys. Bye. Get the fuck out.
I would rather not see any of these people again.